just want to let you know, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning about levitation. Okay, so let's go over our entry task and then some of the learning targets for you guys today, okay? So levitation is an interesting and yet mysterious technique that many people are drawn to. Okay, you're going to observe these two photos below. Okay, what do these photos make you think of? How do you think levitating would make you feel if you could actually levitate? Okay, and then how do you think the industry photographer pulled these two photos off? Okay, so go ahead and I got a timer up there. I'm gonna go ahead and set that for you. You got about 5 minutes. Okay, why don't you take about another 15 seconds? See a lot of people about already finished.
Mr. Carroll, how much is it to go to the Garden Theater?
Sure. Maybe a couple bucks.
$5? Oh, that's like 10. And 40.
Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to turn to your neighbor, okay, your elbow partner, and I want you to tell them one of the answers to one of these questions. Okay, what do these photos make you think of? How do you think levitating would make you feel? And then how do you think the industry photographer pulled these two photos off? 30 seconds. Ready, go.
Fairly true.
Is that better for you, Jordan?
I just want to make sure it's right.
Okay, let's bring it back in 3, 2, 1. Destiny. What does it make you think of? Scary movies. Scary movies when they're getting possessed. All right, Lacey, what do you think? Okay, let's go with Aiden. What do you think? Okay, so how do you so raise your hand if you think, okay, if your answer was it makes you think of scary movies. Okay, because that was this whole front row, partially the back row. Okay, so what did it make you? What did it make you think of, James?
Wizards.
Wizards. Okay, Coulter.
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. Okay. Katie. Katie. Okay.
I was just like, how would they do that?
Yeah.
I know that's not witchcraft.
Okay, so let's go to that next question.
Witchcraft is real, Katie.
Yeah, well, they're
Let's-
not witches, so they can't do it.
Bring it back.
They are.
Tracy. Bring it back. Okay, let's go with the next question then. How do we think the photographer, the industry photographer, pulled this off? Joseph. Okay, Photoshop. Give me thumbs up if you said probably Photoshop.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, or some strings. Yeah, that could be it too, right? So let's go ahead and how many of you have seen America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
Except they don't.
I've seen Witchcraft.
Okay, let's go ahead and watch this 3.5-minute long video, and then I'm gonna have you reflect on it.
We're looking for special head. We need him to stage now.
What is going on?
Yeah, sorry for the hold up. We're looking for the next contestant.
Is he gonna levitate, bro?
Backstage.
3060, special head.
Can you ladder back here?
I am a special ed. What I do is quite phenomenal, but I'm concerned that the initial preparation that I must do will be possibly disturbing to the judges and audience. I have to align my chakras and get into a very meditative state. This environment is going to be quite difficult. Those X's are very loud, and I hope it doesn't destroy my concentration.
Somebody want to get that?
How are you supposed to meditate if you hit buzzer?
Coulter, enough with the witchcraft.
I want Howard to go first because I think Howard had a premature excitation.
I did. I was annoyed with you. I wanted to lock you in a mental institution. And then lo and behold, you pulled off your special trick, special head. And I'm going to take my eggs back because I actually like what you did. I'm never going to do that. First time.
This was amazing. And I'm sitting right here and I'm looking and I'm like, how is he doing
How many of you did that?
You know, I'm so glad I did because I think what we all just witnessed was out of this world.
I just saw something I have never seen before, and I definitely want to see again. It's a yes from me.
It is a hands down, definite yes from me.
I want to see you again, yes.
It is a yes for me. You have 4 yeses.
Okay. Take 30 seconds, turn to your neighbor, tell them one observation or feeling you had from that clip. Ready, go. Jordan, what is it? Oh, okay, bring it back in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go with Gabby. What do you think? Let's all give our attention over to Gabby, okay? What do you think? A little loud, can't quite hear you. I still can't hear you. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, culture.
So I think what he did is he put like magnets on behind his legs, and then like put like a giant metal plate on it.
Okay.
And then,
Bro,
like,
he levitated with his mind.
Okay. Okay, Sandish, what do you think?
I don't know. Either it's real or I think it's of this fakeness.
Okay. Who else here? Kendall, what do you think?
I think it's because he didn't wear shoes.
Okay.
You're on the scene right there.
Shoes. Mackenzie.
It has something to do with his staff or he's a wizard, one or the other.
Okay.
You just chakras, bro.
Okay, so
He's a wizard.
bring it back. I knew this. I knew this was going to be some good topic of conversation. Okay, so part of what we're trying to learn, okay, isn't obviously how to levitate. Okay, that's not what we're trying to learn. Okay, Jordan. Okay, what we're trying to learn is this. Let me bring it back to our learning targets here. Okay, so your goal is to be able to understand the impact, okay, that framing and cropping has on an image. Okay, we're gonna go through these, and then we're gonna do a little group activity. Okay, because what we're trying to do as photographers is recreate a technique. Okay, and so what you're gonna be able to also do is identify specialty purpose lenses. So what kind of a lens are we gonna use for this project? And you'll be able to be familiar with both methods of focusing, so manual focus and then autofocus. And we've been working on that all year long anyway. And then you're going to be able to understand how aperture influences depth of field, because with this technique, you'll actually need to get the whole entire frame in focus. Not just like what we've been working on with portraits, which is shallow depth of field. So we'll need a really large, we'll need a really small aperture, okay? And then the last one is you'll be able to effectively use a variety of Photoshop tools and layers to creatively alter an image. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. Okay, I want you to turn to your group section. Okay, so here's the group section. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I want you to designate 2 people to come up here. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. No. I'm going to give you 20 seconds. Designate 2 people. Ready? Go. Just designate 2 people. Once you have your 2 people, bring up your 2 people. Tristan and Colton.
Oh, sorry, my love.
No, tap. Alright, right here. You have to make room. Okay, Oscar. Oh, he's room. You guys okay. And then we just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh wait, we've okay. Okay. Come on, all the way over here. Oscar, bring your group over here. And then you have a pen. Anybody need a pen? Alright, so let me grab your attention.
Oh wait, you only have one.
Don't get up here, Daniel. Okay, here is the objective. Okay? We'll begin as soon as I get your attention. Here's the objective. I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes. Okay? What's going to happen is you're going to draw, to the best of your ability, a picture, a detailed picture of somebody levitating. Okay? But here's what you have to do. The very first minute and a half, okay, is going to be one member of your group drawing. Once that minute and a half ends, you're going to select one more person to add on to that extra 1.5 minutes. Okay? So if I'm partners with Katie, Katie's going to go first. She's going to begin the first minute and a half. And then once we have a minute and a half left, then I'm going to finish out the rest of the picture. Okay? I'm going to have you sit down, and then we're going to vote as a group on which one is the most creative and detailed. Okay? You guys need one. Okay, so let's go ahead and set our timer.
Yeah. 50.
I see you cheating over there. I told you, don't that.
Eliminated.
I raised it.
I got it.
Okay, are you ready, drawers? Okay, ready. You can begin.
Hey, things don't work.
Oh, good.
Yeah, remember the first. First person's drawing the first half, and then the second person is drawing the second half.
Very good. Very good. Make sure he's bald.
Make him like an old
Go Coulter!
Hey, switch partners! Okay, so second partner, you're adding on to what the first partner did.
What is this?
Very lovely.
Yeah.
You can only vote once. Okay? So let's start with Jay, Liana, and Mike's group. Okay? Show of hands. Okay? We got 1, 2, we got 3 votes. Okay, Belin's group. Okay, 1, 2. Ben Walker vote. Yeah, 3. Okay, Aiden's group and Trenton. Almost forgot who it was. D? Y'all want to vote for yourself? Okay, we got 1. Who's your
Mike, yeah.
Oh, Caleb and Rocky. Oh my god.
That's
1, 2,
4,
3, 4, 5.
That
Okay. And then we. Oh my god. Okay, Dante and Justin's group. 2 of you. Okay, great.
We win.
So we got the winners. Okay, right here.
We get a dab?
Let's do it. We got a tie for second. So let's go ahead. Okay, everybody's voting one more time. Okay. We got Mike and Jay Liana's group. This is for second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, votes. And then Belin's group. Bam. Okay. We got second place. And we got third place. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. Alrighty. So here we go.
Please send David Dollins to office for a few minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Alright, here's what I want you to do. Go online, go to google.com. You're looking for a photo that you want to recreate, levitation photo you want to recreate. Yeah, just search levitation photos. And while you're doing that, okay, while you're doing that, just 1 second here. I just want to go through some of our learning targets again. All right. So the point to all of this is to understand what levitation is, so we can actually recreate a levitation technique project. Okay. So if I'm a photographer in the industry, okay, this is what I'm going to want to learn and teach other photographers. Okay, I want to teach them how to understand the impact that framing and cropping has on an image. Okay, I want to be able to identify specialty purpose lenses. So I'm going to show you a type of lens that we'll be able to use, okay, to recreate this project. Okay, you're also going to become familiar with both methods of focusing, manual and autofocus. Okay, we've already actually have learned manual and autofocus. But I'm going to show you which one's going to be the best one to use for the levitation project. And then actually you're going to also understand how aperture influences depth of field, and then how to effectively use a variety of Photoshop tools and layers to creatively alter an image. So all week this week we've been actually looking at portraits. Okay, and what kind of an aperture have we been focusing on with portraits? A low aperture. Okay, so a low aperture number, so 2.8, 5.6. Okay, but with this project, we're going to be focusing on a bigger number, okay, aperture. So like an f32 to get the whole entire scene in focus. Okay, so let's look at some of the photos that you have found, and let's try and figure out how we can recreate them. Okay. Anybody want to go ahead and share their? Let's start with Trenton actually, real quick.
Mine's pretty chill.
I'm liking that one.
Hey, that's the one I have.
You guys, great minds think alike. Okay, yeah, we have a levitation photo here. Okay, so Trenton, how do you think you could recreate this? Any ideas?
Well, maybe like could be standing on a chair.
Okay.
Pulling him here to get the effect in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, those are some good ideas. Okay, who else? Let's go with a couple more. Justin. Nice. Okay. Great. There's lots of action going on in that levitation picture. Okay, how do you think, Justin? How could you recreate that, you think?
I'm not really sure any like this one.
Okay, that's all right. Okay, let's go with another one. Who else? Let's go with 2 more. Dude, you're cheating. Mike, you're cheating. Okay, what do we got? What do we got here?
Recreated by putting this through there and then getting it out, but you have to take 2 shots, one with her.
We're gonna wait on that. Thank you. Okay, one more. Who else? Let's go one more photo. Let's go with Autumn's photo. I'm digging that one. Okay, check out Autumn's photo here. Check that out. That's a really cool levitation photo. Okay. Good. So we're working on trying to figure out how do we do this. So what is levitation? Okay, levitation is the action of rising or causing something to rise and hover in the air. And it should actually say without any supports. Okay, underneath. Okay, there. So some of the things that an industry photographer might use, okay, for this project are the following. Okay, they're going to want to use some props. Okay, they're going to want to use Adobe Photoshop. Obviously, they're going to need a location. They're going to need a subject, a camera, an SD card, a computer, okay, a tripod, and then lastly, they're going to actually need some creativity, right? Okay, so here is what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do this. Can I get a volunteer? Me, first hand up. Well, okay, thank you. Okay, go ahead and sit right here for me for a second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, give you some techniques, some ideas on what you can do to compose an effective and creative levitation photo, okay? Question? Comment? No. If you want to give me an idea, sure. I said that I would give you ideas, but I would love, yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah. Yeah. Great. So the whole idea for our subject is to act as if the support or the prop isn't there. Okay? So let me start out with our settings first, and then I'm going to have Caleb pose in such a way to give the appearance as if there's not a support underneath of him. Okay, so what you're going to need, okay, like I said, you're going to need a tripod, camera, battery, SD card. Okay, our lens here. There are some lenses that would work a lot better for this. A wide angle typically works really well. A telephoto lens actually does work fairly well because you're just needing to get the subject and to fill the frame. Okay, a macro lens probably is not going to do the job. Okay, so we have a telephoto lens here. The first thing you're going to do, once and after you turn it on, remember we're shooting in manual mode. Okay, and then you're also going to turn it to manual focus, okay, on the side of your lens here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our settings. So we're going to set our shutter speed. Okay, so what's kind of a base shutter speed that we could use right now, you think? Base shutter speed. Okay, yeah, let's just set it to 1 over 250. Okay, aperture, remember, okay, you want a small aperture for this, small opening, large number to get the whole entire picture in focus. And then our ISO, we're inside, we'll set it to about 800. Okay, so I have everything set now on my camera. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have Caleb position himself in such a way as if he is appearing like he's going to be levitating. Okay, Caleb, so you can either, okay, but your feet will have to be off the ground on some level, okay? Yeah, just like that. Okay, so once your subject's posed, okay, and your camera is set, you're going to take I would say take at least 5 pictures, okay, to give yourself a variety. The next thing that you're going to do, and that's the most crucial thing, is you're going to remove Caleb out of the photo and the chair. Okay, so go ahead and hop on out of our photo, take your stool with you. Keep going. You are silly. Okay. I'm not touching my camera. Okay, I'm not moving it, I'm not refocusing it, I'm not changing the settings. That's the most crucial part. All I'm doing is I'm gonna take now 5 more photos.
Did you even take a picture of me?
Okay? No. I'm taking 5 more photos, okay, of those 2 things removed, the subject and then the stool. Okay, you're bringing it back into Lightroom, and then what we're doing actually is we're gonna follow the instructions in our project page on how to create this levitation project. So essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be editing them in Photoshop. Okay, you're going to actually put both photos, you're going to choose 2 of them. You're going to remove, erase, okay, the stool in Photoshop. You're going to apply some edits to it, etc. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, so now,
Allowed to go back?
yeah, you can, let's give Caleb a round of applause. There we go. Okay, thank you, Caleb. So the last thing is this. Before we start the levitation though, we need to finish our portrait project, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around with my clipboard, and when you think you're done, before you put it in your project page, you're actually going to raise your hand. I'm gonna come over your screen, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to tell you, give you some feedback on it. And then once we kind of agree that it looks good, it's got quality, it's tack sharp focus, good editing, good cropping, then you can actually go ahead then and put it in your project page, and then you can actually finish and begin the research levitation project. Remember that you're not just putting it actually in your project page, you're putting it in the breadth portfolio section of the end drive. Okay? Any questions? All right, go ahead and go to work.